I'm not going to propose to a guy ever.
And tomorrow,
where do you live, Henry?
Are you in Lagos?
I want to
Are you in
get
Nigeria?
married.
How will you not feel
Just like
attached
a
after
must.
sex?
Yeah.
Like, no.
About every parent becomes the police
Okay.
in the lives of their kids.
Proposing is not like me. I will just come direct like you guys do and open one ring and
Okay,
no,
okay,
no.
so-
Guy, never reach me will marry me.
That's like you popping question.
There was a communication, something happened. So there's something like accidental
I'm
pregnancy.
working more than 12 hours because I'm going to wake earlier than him to take care of the children.
Do you know?
Hello. Of course, again, maybe not the face you're expecting. It's almost like you guys are high on a Moyi, Margaret combination. But every once in a while, I think I should sprinkle some surprises. Good evening and welcome to the lounge. My name is Melanie Ishola. And of course, your regular babe, the one I named Delectable. I should possibly just call you Delectable and leave the rest. But you know, your dad would come for me because why? Okay, so Margaret Osazua in the house. And John. Do you know what I want to add as your surname?
Okay, I'll wait to hear.
John the Baptist. Yeah, we said John the Baptist.
That's a contrast.
I know, right? I know. But it was somewhat like maybe the last I read of Zacchaeus was in the book of John or something, and I'm like, John, that should be Zacchaeus following. Okay, please let me allow you to introduce yourself.
It's good to be here once more. My name is John Ede, and I'm happy, of course, as usual.
And I am beyond excited to welcome you onto the lounge this very rainy day. Now, call these setting fire to the rain, because this is where you get to draw your chairs. Don't sit at the edge of the chair because you're gonna fall over. Draw your chairs, call your friends, even your enemies. Go, it's happening right now. And I hope you're streaming with us across all our Punch newspapers platforms on social media and YouTube. But just so you know, for our softies, let's begin with the last BB Niger, none other than the Lu 9. And of next BB Niger. And in preparation for that, what we then say is that there is such thing as the BB Niger showroom, talk room. Reunion. Sorry. You know, you see, it's Margaret's Amoyi's area of concentration, specialization. Now, on this reunion, a lot of drama are beginning to unfold. Now, reunions are known with drama.
Yeah.
And I recall it was about the time of Mercy Eke and what's not that we started the reunion thing.
Yeah.
And it came with whopping surprises. But this time around, it's not such a big surprise. It's just a sort of triangle. Now, picture this. There is a Chinwe, there is a Zion, but then there is a Zinwe. Now, in this in this collaboration called Zinwe, which, as you know, the last BB Niger had pairs, whether married or not, going into the house. John, you remember? Even John did, bring us back.
I don't usually follow these things, but at least
you remember that one? Why is it because of the collabo thing?
I think it's true that actually.
Collabo matters are big matters, anyways. In which case, now the BB Niger is coming, and Zinwe says, we are no more. There is no more Zinwe. Who unveiled this? Who said what? When was it said? How was it said? What actually happened? Let me hear it
First
from the mouth of Margaret.
Let me just say that no lose gas thing was very underwhelming.
Which one is underwhelming? We are used to.
He did not sweet. It wasn't sweet. It wasn't juicy. It was just annoying. So them coming to give us all these glass at the reunion, I was just like, okay, sure, even pardon.
So what was the biggest revelation?
I think the biggest revelation for me on the reunion show was the fact that, number one, DJ Flo and Ruti are no longer together. People that have been friends for 10 years because of BB Niger now. They had their differences, and that's the end. Then we have the Zinwe, the Chinwe, and the Zion pair who had been together for a very long time. And now they're saying no because Chinwe says she has been bankrolling Zion. I've been the one taking care of you. I've been the one doing everything for you. I came all the way to Port Harcourt. I got a B&B, yeah. I pay 100,000 naira every day, and you cannot stay with me. He said Zion went for it to hang out with his friends on his birthday, and she told Zion that, okay, no matter what you do, just come back home tonight. I think when I first heard that come back home, I said, oh my God, such a couple. come back home tonight.
Baby, come
Now,
home tonight.
Zion didn't come back because according to him, there were issues, so he couldn't come back. But she said Zion now said he could not book an Uber that was coming to that end. But guess what? She said Zion's friend drove. And they passed even the place that they live. She said, But Zion,
Is that
But you
nice?
said,
So the Uber could not wait.
the
Could
friend
it
could not.
take-
She said, Bra Zion. She said that's how she knew. And that Zion just keeps doing these things where she spends money on him and then Zion can just ghost her. I say, but
She
Zion could
spends money on
on
him.
him. She has been
So what
bankrolling
does-
him now.
So what does Zion now do for her?
According to Auntie Chinwe, Zion has not done anything for her. But Uncle Zion says he has tried for Auntie Chinwe.
He has tried in using her money. He helped her to spend it.
No. Who are you supporting? Which side are you?
I don't know. The story is not complete. Of course, all these kind of things are always controversial. This one
Yeah.
says something, it's never complete. So we just have to,
Like we
use
cannot,
what we have.
we can't have the last of it.
Right.
You know, when we were sharing this story before the show started, what I said was, please, can couples just stay together? Because we don't want to hear how it happened when it please, when it was good. You people, please.
You can imagine. You can actually imagine that all these things not even happen on the show, outside the show, and you're bringing your dirty linen. You're coming to come and spread it
And
for
I
us.
believe it was actually the whole gist around how Zion came to plead before
Yeah.
the show to say, you know what,
I still want you
know
back.
I still want you back and all of that, cover me. And then they went on to the show and then teas started to spill. But
Yeah.
not so much of the tea if we do not share about what Zion now said about Chinwe. We heard about what Chinwe
Press
said
release.
about,
It's like a press release.
so give us.
Look, Zion say that, and Chinwe is practicing sodomic relationships.
No, please,
Sodomic.
use English that we understand. This one.
Sodomic. When I first said, I said, have you Sodom and Gomorrah today? Sorry, what's going on?
Okay,
You know,
like-
and he says that, so when he now, and as his baby has always covered her up, so he feels that if he asks her for something, just how much did he ask for? And it just got me wondering.
No,
You said,
not how much did he ask her for?
yes, and that's so she cannot help him when he's in need.
What are friends for?
And the thing here is now, I'm not saying to Zion, when I saw that, I was just like, as you have come and tell her because she's doing sodomic relation, that means she is allegedly doing things with women like herself. So it's sodomic relation, that's sodomic relationship. Now, when you now say that, but you are spending money from sodomic, brother, check yourself. That's it.
John does not agree.
You know that it's a sodomic relationship that
John
you
has-
need to sponsor
John has
you,
a support for his
and you are
friend.
using it.
We cannot be doing this to Zion and you're
I
doing
mean,
the same.
I cannot blame him. Why we lie? Like, there's so much pressure in the world right now. And every normal human being. Of course, if I see a point where I can just eat for free, why do I have to? I don't get it.
John, I just knew there was something you were trying to mask, and it was best you just let the truth out, cut out at the bag. That said, may we quickly ask, I'm not going to define sodomic, that's not what this show is about, but I'm just saying, why do we hear things after? When it was good, we didn't hear these things. But for what it's worth, we wish the pair, even though the name now no longer holds any water, and we can no longer say Zinwe, but we will miss saying Zinwe. And that's how I move on to the next story here. So very quickly, there is this trending, and it's Margaret that used to find these things. We should be asking where Margaret goes on the internet.
Right.
A God-fearing man, and I'm guilty of stealing this headline from the blog that published just the same way. A God-fearing man on a God-fearing day enters into a shop, a phone shop, and guess what? Before pilfering, I cannot call it stealing. I could be guilty of judging a God-fearing man.
Yeah.
Before pilfering, he did the sign
Of
the
Jesus.
cross. Pé ní orúkọ tí bàbá,
Àti
ní orúkọ tí
ọmọ.
ọmọ, àti ẹ̀mí mímọ́. As we go and take, let us take the right one. And he didn't take one, he took two. Now, if you knew the prices of phones, gadgets generally, even accessories, Margaret and John. Have you tried buying chargers for your phone? I'm told I use fake charger for my phone. That's why my charger's spoiled. I said, how much am I earning that I can buy the original? I cannot afford original charger. That's why. But this mother say whether I can afford, I cannot afford.
Let's go and
It is
take.
God has provided it somewhere. And Son of Man shall go and possess.
You know the craziest thing about this particular story is that shop owner that was sleeping. Were you dead? What was good? If you see the way he was sleeping, John, this man moved 1, 2. He looked. He turned. And so at that point, I was telling himself, should I? Should I not?
It could possibly be asking, Holy Ghost,
Should I? Should I? He went forward again. This guy was sleeping. He was sleeping. Like, for you not to even feel like there's another presence with you. It was till that guy stole that phone. After doing cross like this.
But is Nigeria's chest?
He now wake up.
Is Nigeria's chest not enough for you to sleep that kind of sleep?
No,
That's almost like a sleep of
But
it's actually too far to sleep at a workplace.
How can you sleep like that?
Just close your office and go and lie down the
Do you understand what kind of sleeping is that?
Yeah. But how would we have been able to talk about this experience?
So it was good I slept. Now his phones have gone.
Now
His phones have gone
Now we
now.
have content to talk about, but the phones are gone.
But his phones
the good
are gone
thing
now.
about this gist is you may be wondering whether it was caught in the act. No, we're happy to say it was the CCTV camera that did the
You can
revealing.
actually imagine.
And I hope that in a place like Nigeria where we may not be able to use the NIN, Kinika, and so on to trace, but we pray for this shop owner that God will replenish, but that he will learn his lessons and use
And
his
not
house
sleep.
for sleeping.
Thank you.
And his office for selling.
Nah.
All right, that said, we have a very third story. Now, John, I know, let it out. So there's a third story, but who better to share this story? Because you see, the Cubana, and please,
Cubana
allow me to say
chief priest.
Cubana, because the Cubana cannot even do it anymore. Because when you hear a Kenyan saying Ogun Wana, how does Ogun, what did Kirikpo, when did Ogun become the god of Kenya? When a Kenyan woman then goes, Ogun Wana, Kirikpo, so goes the story of Cubana chief priest, baby mama, all the way from East Africa, Kenya, Margaret.
Glory!
Unity.
Honestly, okay, so I'm going to use the word. She didn't even call him Cubana. She should shout, Pascal! Oh, go to Prico.
Koni respect.
You don't understand. When Pascal left his wife and his children in Nigeria, and he said, I'm telling you, let his respect. Then said to go to Kenya, travel 7 seas, 7 oceans. I said, no, let me go and spread my seed. Let me just spread my seed as a giver. I'm a giver. I spread normally. Let me release.
And he didn't do well like the Telegram's co-founder.
At all,
for the 100+ seeds that I have given, all of you are going to inherit this money.
But
we're going to chop this
money. But no, he released the seed and it brought forth a fountain. My people, are you receiving the rema?
We are.
It brought forth a fountain, pregnant seed. Oh, Helen is shouting, come and claim your child. I've suffered. You know, it's funny. Because the lady has an accent, because she's a Kenyan. So when I listen to her rant, it's funny. Yes, you understand. It's funny because Commander Chief Priest thinks, allegedly, because the court has not really said, oh, it's the father, it's not the father. But Commander Chief Priest thinks is like, maybe sometimes when you just speak here, everybody just gets there. You've been shouting so much, I'm fine, I'm not going to talk anymore. Ellen is not playing with him for years. She has been on his case like this. She has been saying, she said, take me anywhere. You know what she's doing? She's even saying, sue me. Take me anywhere. You will see that DNA, you will do it. You will do it.
Hey,
she said, Pascal.
It's sure for you.
It's sure for you.
But I think there's also something about women of East Africa. Millie Odiambo. Why does this Auntie Ellie remind me of their
Be a bad girl.
very popular lawmaker?
Be a bad girl.
Our mentor.
Good girls don't win their office. Be a bad girl.
Like Millie Odiambo. I am using my third term in office. You will be the grandmother of this house. Be a bad girl.
Like me.
Auntie Ellie is a bad girl.
Yes, the truth though. But I think it was just very painful for me with Helen because as much as it was funny, it was also not funny. Because according to her, she lost everything. Her cars, her house, she's living in the ghetto and she has to fend for a child. She can barely fend for the child. And she's not even saying, come and marry me. She's saying, please, take responsibility for your child. And she said she has been chatting him up. She had been chatting him up and had been insulting her. He constantly told her that, what can she do? That she cannot do anything. Now he has just shot himself in the leg because he sued her in Kenya. This is not a Nigerian thing where she's coming down to Nigeria.
But we also need to understand
the
laws of Kenya, and I really don't know so much about that arena. Let's understand who does it favor, what is codified.
I don't know, it is the DNA.
Sort of thing. But at least let the DNA be done.
done.
Let there be transparency. At least Auntie Ellen will rest if you are not the father.
Do you understand?
How are you coming into this? Bail your brother out.
So definitely, if he is actually the father of the child, the DNA actually ends the case. But then, I don't know so much about Kenya, but I know about Nigeria, and I've watched a whole lot of movies. So they could go into the clinic to do a DNA and get a DNA for something else. So
No, wait. This is a case of Ebola. Just say, what are you saying? What am I saying? What do you need DNA for something else?
So I don't think I want to say beyond that anyway.
Wait. Be calming down. I'm very itchy. I want to go to the next story or the real story of the program, but I want to hear that. So what then happens? DNA, we believe, is something or some procedure that can help us end some controversies around, especially paternity fraud. So what are you saying?
Of course, even in the law court these days, we see the law court is there for justice.
That's right.
But then we can hardly stand by that.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that being said, I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you get it, you get it. If you don't get it, you forget about it.
For me that don't get it, I'll go to John after this. And wild card. My visa got approved. My 5-year boyfriend proposed next day. That sounds like one of the sweetest super stories of our generation. What could be more? Double blessing, you would say.
My God.
You got visa to travel, Margaret. As a single lady, you
got
got
visa
visa today.
and then tomorrow
you become double. Except this is really not as it seems. So what would occur or appear to you like an almost unbelievable story is the real life story of a darling Nigerian sister whose name we shall not mention. But netizens on the internet have equally come on this story to say, this is my experience too, I know of this one. You could almost say, no, this could not happen to anyone. So what happened? A dear young lady whom I shall identify as my darling sister because, sorry, it touched heart me, God, I didn't know how to hug or embrace the woman. She said as a 28-year-old lady, I believe, that she finally got tired of it all. What's the story of her life? She's been doing it all for a couple of years since her father died. Her father died, left them with some debts. When the father left debts, he had a boyfriend whose job went south and had not been doing much. She then needed to be strong. You know, when we say association of strong ladies, strong women, this lady should be the grand matron of them all. She said she would take care of her brothers or younger siblings who were still in school. She would go as far as pay part of the debts back while she was equally taking care of her mother, I think ailing mother.
Yeah.
Make it complicated, she has a boyfriend who is not handicapped, but life handicapped him. Because I think he had a job then since, we know life can happen, true. We're not judging this brother. But finally, she will still add money to the brother want to buy a car. She had money, she give him money, buy a car. Let's live life. She said the best thing brother would do would be say, you're such a strong lady.
Hell.
You know, when you have a man whisper that to you under the breath.
You know, when you don't even know that you are strong, and somebody tells you that you are strong.
Under the breath, hot breath. Margaret, imagine hot breath of his nostrils.
Strong woman.
You know, just touching you at the nape of your ears. You're such a strong woman. And so she says, she would go on, and on some day she got tired. At her office, before her desk or her computer, she just figured, I cannot continue to do life like this. I'm hanging in the balance for every other person who's going to be there for me. And then she said she started a new process. She said she figured, what if she got a visa to travel elsewhere? And she began this visa process. She wants to travel. So after several no's, rejections, she finally got a yes. A process that took almost a year. She then goes over to her boyfriend to say, guess what? I made it. Boyfriend says, gist me, what happened? I finally got a visa. You know this was a surprise, right? He didn't carry him along in the process.
He has not engaged that before. He had not proposed 5 years.
He had not proposed.
He had not proposed nothing. Okay, good.
However, the lady said she got tired of constantly trying to want to get him to do right.
By her.
Constantly wanting to make him make an honorable and honest woman
Of her.
And then she just went with the flow of, you know what, everybody in my life just wants to pledge on me for what they want. And so the young man had been introducing her up and about. When people say, oh, guess what, you're such a cool pair. And then he says, we're almost married. Every time. We are almost
married. Good night.
What a promise. So then he goes, congratulations. The lady says the shock was she expected as a serious relationship that was. He would say, "Oh wow, this is good for us. So
Yeah.
what plans do we
You
make?
ha-
Like
yeah.
how do we go from here? And why did you even do this plan
Without me.
putting me in the know? This yada yada yada." Guess what? To our amusement, amazement, wonderland. She woke up the next day and she got
A ring.
Parara! Odogu Parara.
When you marry me.
Odogu Parara shows up and says, "Babe, we got to marry you, pretty girl." This is what the Lord has been showing me. I refuse to see it, but now I see it.
Yeah.
I refuse to be blind again. Now I see.
Yeah.
Upon seeing it say, "Marry
Me.
The lady say, "I got to think about it." Of course, shocking to the man. He goes, "We've been together." And then she says, "Yes. Why it took this long is why I have to at this moment
Think.
ponder
Yeah.
on this yes or a no." From the next moment, lady says it started to be the man she had prayed and wanted all her life. He would call, "Are you okay? Salvation.
John.
Flesh and blood revealed it. No. Have you done this before, John? Do you have some experience in this arena? And so he goes, "How are you? Have you eaten? Did the food enter well? Did you poop well? Sorry for using. Are you sure you swallowed well? Did you chew the meat?" And then it became so nice. Flowers will show up, calls and what's not. On some day, she then said, "Let's go have a conversation about this proposal after all." She goes over to his house, saw him leaving his house with some lady who was pregnant, with his hand all over her shoulders, pecking and literally romancing.
Okay, drop my leg first.
She said she was trying to understand what that was about. But it was just such a revelation. She then calls the man to say, hello, how are you now? He now says, I'm fine, in fact, I'm tired, I just finished cooking. So she goes, no, you don't mean it. Right before my eye, I can see you. But you just said to me,
He was cooking on
it was a chef show. And then he goes, oh, I'm so tired, how are you? Are you back home from her? And then she goes, I've got to call somebody. She calls the sister-in-law. Sorry, they never became sister-in-law.
At all.
Almost.
Almost.
The almost sister-in-law and said, hello, how are you? What's been happening, this and that? She told him what she saw, told her what she saw, and then she goes, I'm so sorry. You were the backup plan. You were
Hey.
supposed to
Hey, God.
find out.
And then what the hell is backup plan?
Yeah, I don't know. I can check the dictionary after the show.
One drive or Google Cloud. Sort of.
As a tech guy, you can explain.
Backup
Please, what
plan.
is backup plan?
There's a major
Backup plan.
So when it fails,
Hey, God.
Do you have a backup plan?
It's
in
naked.
various parts of life, yes.
In your relationship, do you have a backup plan?
I don't understand what the backup plan is in that area.
I know it feels like a hot space, but this is the gist. And this is where we're saying, wild card, everyone, let's get talking. Dropping your comments in there. If you were the lady, what would you do? Of course, she traveled without taking the guy along and blocked him, according to her, on all platforms. But here goes the question.
Blocked him. I'm not a wicked person.
How do you deal? How do you deal? My big question is, how do you deal with that heartbreak, given all that has happened?
Do you understand?
in 5
It's not, I can't even think about it in 5 minutes, what I would do. But the first thing I know I will not do, I will not travel. I won't travel.
Why would you not?
My deal alone will say.
How?
I would deal with, I cannot, see, I would not be able to live with myself if I did not do anything. Make it make sense to me. 5 years of my life, my time, my energy, my love, my care, my resources on you. See, it is better. I used to tell people that it's better when you meet somebody for the first time and the person saying, what do you want? And you're saying, I just want to have a good time, nothing serious. And the person is with you on that note that, okay, fine, nothing serious, we're fine. But 5 years of commitment to you. I did not fail, I did not falter. I was always with you. I waited for that time where you would propose or something. Then I just felt you were not ready to propose. So I said, okay, let me move on with my life. Let me just travel out. Only for me to now understand that it's not even a traveling out thing now. That was never the issue. You were just taking me on. It was just a funny ride. It was all fun and games. There was nothing there. You had a full wife that is probably 6 months gone.
About to be married.
About to be married. Your family Everybody's in the
Knew
know.
about it.
You can't go scot-free.
So
I'm
what did
sorry. Let's talk to John first. I'm going to be thinking of what I'm going to... No.
Margaret, you're going to put your life on hold for a man whom, in the first place, you were nothing but a chariot to.
You don't understand.
Just a toy.
Melanie,
No, she's not
see,
saying she's
I'm not
going to
saying I'm
put her
putting my
life
life on hold, but you can't just go. I can't just let you go like that. No, I'm not that nice. No.
But you get putting that travel on hold for such a kind of thing. Honestly, it does not worth it to me.
Hey,
Because these days getting visa is out of the
the
box.
pain
The
choke.
thing is that, like, all of us are visa in waiting in a place like
The
Nigeria,
pain choke.
as we're almost all living to Japa. So now you finally got this breakthrough
Now
after
I
several
want-
no's,
See,
and you now want to keep it on hold.
That's a double
Is
edge.
it worth it? Is
That's
my
a-
question.
that's a-
it might not.
Is it worth that energy?
It's not because I'm not going to travel again. I might eventually travel. I'm just saying. But see, I don't think the first thing. Maybe she eventually traveled, or she did not travel. I don't know that.
did travel.
She did travel. I don't know how long it took her to now travel. Maybe
She immediately when she was supposed to travel.
immediately. But I promise you that even as she traveled, that pain, it's like when somebody does something so terrible to you, you can't do anything to the person. There is nobody to even talk to say, because you're just, you feel like a fool, a complete fool. Like, did I not see? Did you not show me the signs? What was I looking at? Was it love? Everything will just be wrong with you, because you can. She even blocked him around, so there is no calling to even say, are you okay? How dare you? There's nobody to pour that frustration on. So when she's going to. So I cannot take that frustration with me, even if it's just to talk to you or that your entire family. How do you call somebody that spent 5 years with you a backup plan?
I think my bigger question here to John is, how do we end this our wife culture?
Hey,
That's the number one thing I have.
it cannot end though.
That's the number one thing I have problems with
It cannot
in
end.
that whole story.
So-
When the sister now says, she says, I now called that his sister that used to call me
Our
our
Hey,
wife.
God,
Mother.
nah.
Let me not say it. This is live television, please.
So the thing is, I don't think that can end anyway.
Nah.
Not in any time soon, because it's actually necessary, except that it is being abused. these
No, our
days.
wife is not here.
Okay, so this is why.
Marry me first and call me our wife.
Okay, so this is why I said it is necessary. Maybe not in that vein anyway, because it aids this welcoming aura. sort of.
Okay.
So if I have a girl I am looking forward to making
Getting
my
married,
wife,
yeah.
and my mom knows about her and my siblings and stuff like that, I feel like she's going to feel more welcome in that kind of environment. I'm not saying with that phrase.
Nobody called me our wife, and I'm happy.
Of course,
It's not necessary.
Of course. So, not being called that is not saying you are not going to be fine, but being called it also might.
Some people see it like some people.
John, and I
stand with
understand,
John.
honestly, and I wish this was not the case, because essentially our wife simply means you're welcome.
Yeah,
You are loved.
Yes, we
We've been
want
waiting on
you.
We want
Yeah.
you. There's no woman who wouldn't adore that,
Yeah, definitely.
quite frankly. But there's this calm of our wife, and that's what we're speaking to. Margaret, our wife. How many of our wives have you been called?
You know this thing. You know the unfortunate thing about this thing is that we see skit makers when they're doing this skit, and you just see one lady will just enter, and all the friends just say, "Our wife." She will enter the kitchen. She will cook. She will clean. She will mop.
going?
When she's done, she will help him out in the other room.
But she's not the
And she's
man-
not the real wife.
but she's
Oh.
not-
Another girl will come and say, "Our wife." They do that and do that and do that, and they continue to do that until they now end up with literally nobody. Because the person that they will not end up with, you now be asking yourself, what happened? And with this leads to a story of one of my friends. When I heard about her own story, now, like a full group of people, they were friends, were expecting their friend to get married, and they knew this particular girl with this guy. It's the same our wife, and genuinely they thought she was the wife. This girl comes over on weekend, she cooks, she's great, she's amazing, and they thought, come traditional marriage day. Friends came to traditional. They said friends should dobale. They saw the wife.
Wait,
they said, who is this?
Even friends didn't know.
They didn't know.
They broke out broken.
Broken.
John,
They were angry.
It says a lot about people's personality.
It's terrible.
On the part of
The guy.
friends and on the part of the guy. So on the part of the friends, for the regular kind of story we know about, But then on the part of this guy for this particular story,
Because the friends are not even aware.
They're not even aware. They were not
it
looking.
doesn't make any sense.
You know, you better say
I
Dobale.
was even
They say
able-
Dobale.
I
They
was
were not
even-
looking.
I was even able to
Even tricked
pull
all
that
the
out.
All the
friends to come and
friends.
say
Seriously.
yes to somebody they didn't even know.
They said my girlfriend was telling me that they all refused to
Of course.
Dobale.
I
They
don't think I would be
they
able to
moved
offer
aside
that.
and they told him that he had questions to answer. Who the hell is this? Who is
So
this?
That's the point. That's the point actually. Being able to have people around you who can actually call you to caution.
Yeah.
Because I have friends who are in relationships currently, and I know what it's all about. Of course, if I see shady behaviors, it says so much about me and the relationship I have with that person.
Yeah.
So I should be able to tell that person that this thing you are doing. So it's not like I'm outrightly going to be telling you that you don't have to do this. Of course, I don't have.
Yeah, I don't have the final say. At the end of the day, yeah, it's yours.
But then I should be able to tell you that how far this thing, and then it's not about whether you're going to take it or not. Then in my own stead, I'm not going to endorse that as other people do.
Yeah.
So I feel like at the end of the day, people do these things because of the benefits they get and stuff. It reminds me of university days. When I was in, I think either first year or second year, I used to stay in the hostel with my friends like that. So there's this guy, I don't know if they're watching this stuff.
Share the link with them after.
So he had this girl and stuff like that. So she comes around very much. But then, as at that time, we had some frictions because, of course, a lot of us were broken. Managing
No, of course,
life
all
and
of us
stuff
were
like
broken. So move
Don't
on.
worry.
So, but this guy, I think his parents placed him on kind of a salary allowance or something like that, and then he always gets food stuff and stuff. So, but then when the rest of us who were not as
Boxed up as he is, yeah.
So when we struggle to get things to eat and stuff like that, this guy is always having stuff. And then we're like, we are together here. I mean, I can bring out the little 2 cups or 3 cups of rice I have. I can cook and can all eat. And then you have something even more, and then I cannot share out of it. So that was actually what fueled our own kind of drive. But then it was not even towards the girl, it was towards the guy. Because at the end of the day, me, I could just stay in the room like I'm hungry.
Was it the girl that was responsible for him not sharing?
So the girl was responsible for him sharing.
Oh, and he had problems with sharing.
With sharing.
I
So
could
you
just
all
stay in
now
room
locked
and
the
The
girl.
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 Come over now.
And stuff
Why
like
you
that.
not coming over?
So I just feel like it has a lot to do with people's personality, people and the amount. It's just like the topic we're talking about.
Yeah.
It has to do with your circle of friends. And stuff
Absolutely.
like that.
But I know that this conversation, I know we've spoken about revenge. And there was a reason I allowed you to go,
Yeah.
for us to go that route. Essentially because it's also important.
Yeah.
When you listen to the story, you are thinking, I've just now traveled.
I was like, you'll be angry now.
They-
Like,
I will
what's
not
that?
do my own back. But you see, the best revenge of this lady, she says, now that she's over there, she's still broke.
Hey.
She still doesn't have money, meaning, of course, she's working.
Yeah,
oh.
yeah, definitely.
The broke means not like she's bought
not
a
rich.
house.
Yeah,
or she has
yeah.
not loan.
Yeah.
However, she's living her happiest life.
definitely.
Why? Because she feels she's living on her terms. She doesn't have baggages that she has to drag along.
Yeah.
Otherwise, she would have mystically married the guy, and the guy would have married the lady at home, and he would have been using her life, I beg
As
your
an
pardon,
ATM machine. To fund the lady's lifestyle.
Which is why I said her best revenge is the happiness she now has.
But honestly, I agree with her. I agree with
I
her
agree with her
stance.
moving on. I do.
I agree with her
And I
stance.
also agree with anybody who says, you know what, we're going
need
to stay
to
on
be
this
dealt
grind.
with.
But it's just in the end when you look through it.
Yeah.
Your life is what you
But
have.
in that
when you
beginning-
pay back. But let's look through a deeper dimension to this story, John and
Okay.
Margaret. So you are in a relationship. Let's forget every other part of the gist. How she was even supporting her family. The real gist girl is the boyfriend of friends. You've been in a relationship with somebody who secretly hates you. Did you consider that area?
That somebody secretly hates somebody. You know, if I did not consider it before, there's one nasty man online.
No, because I think that's this.
That's this man.
This
Yeah.
man would have allowed her be doing all these things so that he could just be a, what's that, symbiotic relationship, parasite. So that he could be a parasite and continue to
Just be
leech on. And there may come a time when his ego could no longer or can no longer tolerate it. And both of them may be in poverty. But what I suspect is he would have built a different life off this lady and ask a divorce and leave her starting all over again, maybe at age 50 or 45.
What I'm even happy for is the fact that he showed his true colors now. Thank you for showing your true color. Not that you don't deserve
he
to
didn't
be
show
dealt
it.
with.
God made the girl see
the true colors.
I think there was that scenario she walked into.
Coincidence.
Yeah,
If there
because
was
if
no
not,
coincidence-
I don't know what she was going back to go and tell him.
Sorry.
I don't know what she was going back to go and tell him, whether, okay, I accept or I do not accept, or she was
let's talk
still
this
willing
through.
to travel
Yeah.
and all of that. Nobody knows what she was going to have, the conversation she was going to have with the guy. But at the end of the day, she had the conversation with the guy. Or she did not even have it. She just saw what she was supposed to see. Because she was not supposed to see that. But you know the problem I used to have, and I constantly say it's not because I'm a girl's girl, but there's a problem with when ladies do wifely duties as girlfriends. We need to stop it. You're taking for granted. Well, okay, so when you're not married, what are you not doing? What's the essence? You have done, thank you very much, you have done rehearsal.
No, John, it's not rehearsal. Some of us who have been married for so long, we have not done rich what some girlfriends have done for boys.
What do you mean?
As in,
Your entire life,
They have
your
lived their-
life, you've lived it for him, but no commitment. He's not even stylishly saying, oh, I know that our wedding will be grand. Or how many kids would you like to have? I think I would like to have 3. No conversation
No
whatsoever.
plans.
He's just saying that you're strong. You don't know you're strong before.
It's true.
You don't know that you're
Yeah,
strong.
It's possible.
It's terrible.
It's possible. Her love language is words of affirmation. You get.
Wait,
So-
say only you are strong.
If it was, she would not be tired and be looking for visa. She should be enjoying the word of
so
affirmation.
the thing is that she enjoys it, but it's not enough, because I don't understand how you sit in a place for 5
years.
You see all signals, and yet, I think she was like, she just felt like just wanted to go on. I don't get.
I don't even think it was a wanting to go on. What I think happened was, I've invested so much here, I cannot just go.
John,
that's-
you don't know when a
that's-
woman is
that's-
in a long-term relationship.
that's a problem.
It's not easy. Most women just look at it as, what is the assurance that the next guy
That
I'm
I will
going
meet,
to meet
won't do this.
would be better?
Okay.
So who's going to be the next person? So what if this is what the dating pool is? A friend of mine was telling me not long ago that, Mel, you have no idea. The dating pool is no jokes.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this, I'm not smirking because I'm making a rulery or anything, but I'm just saying, quite frankly, it is wild out there. It is crazy things are happening. We started with Zinwe. Maybe we are hearing things of Zinwe. There is one story you were saying of where you want to do sodomic, the boy like Sodom. You will hear things.
You will hear things.
And there is nothing that happens in marriages that is not already happening in relationships.
Yeah.
It's as if we have come to accept it that don't worry.
Yeah.
Marriage is just take me to the altar.
Yeah.
Beyond the take me to the altar, it's still the life.
And I was speaking to one very nasty man on the internet. I don't know if you've come across that man. So apparently he's broke. Dead broke. He doesn't have money.
You see, apparently,
And he's
you follow him.
he's not said it now, he's broke.
Okay.
And if you look at his face, sorry, I want to say this to you, you have carpet face. Because after said I must have him. This man, do you know, what he was saying really hurts me. He said he has a wife at home,
my friend.
he does not care.
Let's take deliverance over this mouth. We have to deliver this mouth. I'm not taking this.
He said that he has a wife at home, but he does not care about her. Listen, no, he said, I don't care about her. She irritates me. She stinks to me. She's useless. She's just, he called her all sorts of names. It was live. He was talking.
Oh, not like a written.
Not like a written thing, no. He was talking. He now said, but I'm broke. Yeah, no, I'm broke. He's a black American. He's like, yo, no, I'm broke. I don't have anything to my name. And she's the one that is fending for me right now. Else I'll be on the streets. Who will pay the mortgage? Who will pay this? Who will pay that? So I need her. But honestly, if I make one money now, I go get the girl of my dreams and I'm out. I said I should not say I have carpet face. He did not deserve good word from my mouth. That uncle.
On behalf of your brothers, please forgive Margaret. But let's go to the
Oh
heart of the
my God.
conversation. Let's go to the heart of the conversation. Really go. I do not know how the face of this guy look.
Like carpet.
But like this.
I can imagine.
I can imagine. When Margaret says carpet, I'm trying to picture it. And it's dark skin, she be black American.
It's chocolate.
Chocolate.
Benny.
Same honey. So having said that, go now. We have a lot of these relationships like this. What is your thought regarding, and as we draw to an end of the show, what is your thought regarding parasitic, and I have no other, no apologies, parasitic men on seemingly successful, because sometimes the women are not even successful.
And they will be there.
They're just hustling. What is your thought about? I think there's a rise of the sort of parasitic men. There's even one we're just in the office where the man will not do any work.
At all.
Even when the wife says, my husband is looking for, we are looking for what to say. My body is paying me. He goes to work after one day. Let's end this show on this note, please. But I need your thoughts, a man's opinion. What's your thought about a seeming growth or rise of parasitic men on seemingly struggling women? Because it's not as if one was successful, one was industrious,
So I feel like it's the society, the most of it, and the pressure and stuff and everything like that.
Pressure on who?
On them.
On the women or on the men?
No, on the men. And then the men themselves succumbing to this pressure. Of course, see, pressure comes on everybody. That is one settled thing. Everybody receives this pressure. It is now a matter of how you receive this pressure. I, for one, I honestly had this mindset already right from when I was younger. I want to have something. I want to do something. You get? I don't want to be, even I had parents. I still have parents.
Oh yes, you do. Of course.
Yeah, but then my mom tried so much for me, but it was not enough. It's not like she was not doing enough.
Yeah.
But then I always wanted to do something. I always wanted to help. That was the mindset coming up. So I feel like the mindset matters, because this pressure will come. If you're earning 100,000 naira today, that's not even enough for you. So you can imagine having other responsibilities. And when this thing comes like this, you will not blame some people, honestly. If they see a lottery, that's why I say everybody playing
What do you mean lottery?
See people playing Bet Nigeria up and down.
It's not advertised. Don't mention any platform.
Okay, I'm sorry. So what I mean by lottery is this.
If you see a lady doing well,
Yeah,
is that
who is
able to fund your lifestyle?
And ready to.
Margaret.
It's not just able, but
Yeah,
ready
but
to.
yeah.
Lottery.
Able and ready. You get that kind of stuff. So it boils down to the pressure and everything like that, and you being going ahead to receive.
Thank you, John, and I'm
Yeah.
happy that you're not excusing the pressure. We all face this pressure. Margaret, what are your closing thoughts?
Okay, so I'll come from the part where I'll tell women to take themselves more seriously. Now, I understand. Let me take it from the pressure part. Now, I understand that some women have come of age. You get to a certain age and there's a shame culture. So they start with you, oh, look at you. How old are you? You are not married. There's no man in your life. Are you not dating? What's wrong with you? You say a spiritual problem. Let's go let's go and wash your head. So many things go on. And then you find this particular men that have shown you that this is who they are. Because sometimes the flag is red for a reason. You can see that it is red. But because you are pressured, you think that, oh, there's something wrong with you. So you reduce yourself to their level and you allow them to perch on you like flies. Take yourself seriously.
Yes.
I think that's my closing. Just take yourself seriously.
On taking yourself seriously, the stories we come here to share, we need you to know we don't make them up. On the internet, we get these stories, we follow what's trending, we essentially look at what people are talking about, and then we figure and, look through them and say, let us come and talk. Sometimes to laugh it off, sometimes to learn, sometimes there are no lessons. And today, I'm not certain if there are lessons, quite frankly. I just want to say I am happy for our dear sister that took to her heels.
Yeah.
When Fela said a couple of decades ago in his song, run, no! I think this auntie understood that command. And she ran. And I wish her all the best in the abroad. As my people say in Yoruba land, she will prosper and bring the proceeds of the prosperity back home. That said, woman, look out for yourself.
Yeah.
In the end, it needn't be about we learned something or not, but we've looked through it all.
Yeah.
In the end, to yourself, be true.
Yeah.
Man, also look out for yourself. And this is why I say, Uncle Cubana, please
Go and do DNA.
go and do DNA.
Go and do
Our
DNA.
sister in Kenya is waiting on you to do
DNA.
And this is where we draw the curtain on the program today. It's been The Lounge on, of course, your darling Punch newspapers, platforms across the internet, the most widely read newspaper in Nigeria. My name is Melanie Ishola, and I've been joined by
Margaret Osazua.
And John Edek.
Thank you. Join us again. Good evening.
Like you guys do an open one ring and
Okay,
no,
so
guy, never reach me will marry me.
that's like you popping question.
there was a communication, something happened. So there's something like accidental
I'm
pregnancy.
working more than 12 hours because I'm going to wake earlier than him to take care of the children.
Do you know you are naturally, supernaturally built that way?
Okay,
Do you know? Do you know?
Imagine what
God has divinely made you like that.
Imagine.